Hey y'all, it's Natalie. Please excuse my voice. I've lost it inexplicably. But today I'm playing along with my friends Jennifer and Jessica and acrylic sash bust. Don't look too hard with acrylic because you're going to find not only a minty chippy, but I am using the summer cherry box from a cherry on top and these cute ice cream cut files also from a cherry on top. I cut them out of white cardstock and this awesome Simple Stories collection that was in the cherry box has this really cute ice cream paper. And the collection is called Summer Snapshots, and this paper is called Fun and Sunshine. So I'm going to use that as my background, and I printed my photos, and then I measured them, and I specifically cut out the ice cream cones so that the photos would fit inside. Now I'm going to use my new Waffle Flower Crafts sticky mat to hold my delicate cut file while I ink blend on top of it with my Distress Oxides. So each of the cones is going to get antique linen on the bottom and then a different color ice cream at the top. And I kind of coordinated it with the kids' colors or that they were wearing or the background paper. So Lockie's ice cream wasn't very close to his face, so I did a double-decker cone, and then I kind of spliced the photos together. And then the other photo has a Post-it on it because the teenager is expressing herself in a rude manner, and I didn't want to subject you to that. But it's going in the scrapbook because it's a representation of real life. So I chose a solid background paper, and that one's from my stash. But I wanted to pick out that blue color from the ice cream cones because we're going to be busy here in the middle of the page. So I'm just kind of laying the ice cream cones down, and I realized I need to do something to kind of make them stand out from the background paper. But first, I'm going to put the photos inside the ice cream. So I just glued around the edge. I realized that one was going to have a couple bits showing, so I decided to ink up the negative part of the ice cream cone and place it behind the photo so that it will look like the same red color that I already ink blended is showing through in any of the cracks. And so I'm just kind of trimming those down and then getting all of our ice cream cones. We have a tradition, most Friday nights we go to Friday Night Supper Club with our friends, and then the meeting cannot be adjourned unless one of the children asks for ice cream. We very often tell them no. We're mean, but it was the first day of summer, so we agreed to ice cream. So that is what I documented here. And I really like the different sizes of the ice cream cones. I still think that they need to stand out a little bit more, so I decided to add some vellum underneath the cones. And there is my, quote, acrylic. I didn't have any acrylic to go with it, but I went with that Minty Chippy because it was just too cute and matched the ice cream cones so well. So I'm going to use that same antique linen on this vellum, and then I'm going to stick down the cone part of the cones and cut around it. And so you can still see the pattern paper peeking through just a little bit, but it helps it stick out a little bit, I think. And so I'm really liking the way that looks, but that paper was too big. So what you see me here doing is I've trimmed it down a little bit more, and I'm going back through and adding my rounded edges, and I'm really happy that I trimmed it down. It allowed me to have the dimensions that were, it was just like not pleasing to the eye. It was too big, too much negative space, and with all the embellishing I wanted to do, I needed to cut it down, so I'm glad I did. So what's next? Let's see. I'm trying to fiddle around with some of those expiry papers that came in the cherry box, but I decide not to layer them behind the photos, but I do use a couple of them to fill in those remaining scoops on that larger ice cream cone. And then I ink up the Minty Chippy to mimic the cut files. And I'm going to stick that on one end. And then it's time to start sticking out and embellishing, which is my favorite part. I'll take this chance to let you know, playing with Jennifer Kane and Jessica Michaels today, so I'm going to link down below to their videos. If you didn't come from there, make sure to go check them out and see how they use their acrylic on their pages today. Again, I didn't use acrylic. I used chippies, but it's kind of the same concept, like wood veneer or something like that. So I'm going to pop up all the cones with some foam tape. I'm going to overlap everything, touch everything to one another, kind of make it look nice and cohesive. I'm going to tuck that cone behind the photo, and then we get to start embellishing. I'm also going to put my affiliate links down below with the links to the products in the Cherry on Top store if you're interested. This collection is super cute for summer, and it came with this washi tape. And I don't use a ton of washi on my layouts, but this one was fun and I needed some contrast. And so it was really darker and solid. So I used 3 strips and I overlap them at the top here, and I'll do it the same at the bottom right. And they're going to be kind of anchors for my embellishments, and on the bottom left it's going to be an anchor for my title. And I'm kind of just letting the same colors touch but offset just a little bit, and I think it gives it a cohesive look but some interest, and I really like the way it looks. And then I just tucked that excess behind the bottom, and I give it that ragged edge because and I like that it ran off of that center bit, because I'm not a very pristine scrapper. I don't want things to be just so. I want everything to be a little more organic. So running outside of the box lends to my style. So I'm doing the same down there at the bottom. And then I'm going to use the chipboard that came in the cherry box for the word summer. And I die cut with my iCrafter Heather lowercase alphas the word solstice, because it was the first day of summer. I really do apologize for my voice, guys. I die cut each letter, I think 3 times, and I just kind of stuck them all together so they'd be kind of sturdier. And then I'm going to use that as my title. And now I'm going to go through with the bits and pieces from the die cut ephemera and just sprinkling them around. So I put most of them up on foam tape as well. I did like the shorts and the t-shirt and the shoes and that bottom left of the cones, just because like we're all got our summer clothes on, you know. And then I was going to have an ice cream cone there, but it kind of blended into the background. So I decided to just move it down to the bottom, and it looks really nice there. And then I had a wordy bit up at the top. You know, I don't like to use too many words to compete with my title, but I felt that there was enough space between that and the title. And then I used it with that chipboard piece for the other ice cream cone. And then I'm going to just put some clustered bits around the title. I added summer starts here because summer does start at the summer solstice. And then I'm going to finish off the page with my brads that came from the same collection in the cherry box. And we're going to call it a layout. I feel like I struggled a little bit. Y'all, I haven't been doing very many 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts lately. And, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I had to flex those muscles, kind of get back in the groove. I had to cut down that paper that second time, and I'm glad I did it. So, flex those muscles. Make sure you're getting in your craft room every day, and you'll see another one from me soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. Check out the links down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm only 5 away from another milestone of 1,500. So I appreciate all of you, and I love to read all your comments. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.